Show has time. Looks for Deutsch. Deutsch at the one into the end zone.
On to serve, dug out by Bishop. This to the middle and slamming one home.
And free ball to the crossover. Eilertson will get the pass for Holly. Set up left side. Rusted down with the kill.
He'll play action now. Look to pass over the middle. It's intercepted by Cole Hebel. Intercepted by Hebel, and he brings it back.
Set it up, Boston left side. Big kill blocked at the net. Kept alive by the Greyhounds.
Fetting's got room, and here's Bo Fetting. Fetting's still on his feet. Fetting's gone. Bo.
The Your Live Event Coaches Show is presented by the Hillsborough Economic Development Committee.
Hello again, I'm Joe Lancello. Welcome to the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show on YourLiveEvent.com. We'll be talking high school football. Barnesville going to U.S. Bank Stadium for the state semifinals in Minnesota. In North Dakota, we'll talk with Troy Mattern, the coach of the Fargo Sheyenne Deacons, who are the 11AA champions after the Dakota Bowl last week. We'll also be talking high school volleyball, the state tournament going on in North Dakota. We'll talk with Lisa Strand from Thompson and Angie Johnson from Northern Cass. They're going to the Class B tournament, but we'll start things off here with West Fargo Cheyenne's volleyball team going to the Class A state tournament, and their coach, Leah Newton.
Welcome back to the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show. We're going to talk a little bit of Class A volleyball right now. Leah Newton is the coach of the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs, who are going to the state tournament for a 5th consecutive year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me about the tournament that allowed you to get into the state tournament.
I'm sorry, that part just cut out on me.
Oh, tell me about the region tournament that allowed you to make it to state.
Yeah, so we had a really good tournament. It was a lot of fun. We played some tough teams, but I was really excited at how much our girls stepped up and brought a lot of effort and team play to it. So we just had a really good weekend, played really well.
Who are some of the people that stood out for you?
Gosh, I could name all of our girls, honestly, but we do have our 2 6 rotation players with Reagan Bogenreef and Kaylee Wasdorp. They play outside all the way around, and so they bring a lot on all parts of the game and both sides of the ball. So I would say those 2 really did a good job for us, and our middle stepped up and right side is Chloe and Lexi put up.
Okay, now the Mustangs are off to Bismarck to take on Bismarck St. Mary's in the opening game on Thursday. Have you played them during the course of the year?
No, this season yet, and so we've been just watching some film this week. Watched them in their WDA conference tournament with them playing Dickinson and Century, and so that's the only experience we have with them this year.
Okay, coaches always talk about wanting their teams to peak at the right time. Do you think your team is doing that?
Yeah, you hope so. That's your goal, is to have your team come together at the right time and play the best volleyball going into the tournament at the end of the year. And I thought we played some good volleyball this past weekend for peaking at the right time.
What would be the important things to do at the state tournament for the Mustangs to come out ahead and dethrone Bismarck Century?
Well, that's a little ways down. We're kind of focused on St. Mary's, but I think overall we just have to play a clean game, limit our errors, and play team ball. I think we're a pretty balanced team, and that's where we play our best. So if we can keep everybody together and keep our errors to a minimum, we should have a pretty fun tournament.
How do you look at the field of 8 teams that are in the tournament? A Century, obviously, it seems like it's been a century since they haven't been in the tournament, but a strong record of success. And the various other teams, how do you see the field?
I just think every team that's made it to state is a good team, and they worked really hard to get there. And I just don't think you can look past anybody. So every team that we face, we're going to try to bring our best and compete at the best that we can. And yeah, like all the teams that are there are really good teams.
Okay, we look forward to seeing how the Class A volleyball tournament turns out. Leah Newton, thanks so much, and best of luck to the Mustangs.
Thank you. Thanks for the chat.
Leah Newton, the coach of West Fargo Cheyenne, and we'll continue here on the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show right after this.
Hillsborough Economic Development Committee supports businesses in the Hillsborough community in the form of loans and grants. Experience Hillsborough. There's more at 104.
Welcome back to the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show on YourLiveEvent.com. Joined now by Troy Mattern, the coach of the state champion Fargo Shanley Deacons, who won the 11 AA title at the Dakota Dome. Excuse me, 48-7 over Bismarck Century. Congratulations, Troy.
Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you having me on. And yeah, what an exciting night for our team to celebrate a state championship. And it's a really cool feeling. These kids work extremely hard, as most kids do. But to celebrate with that team Friday night was pretty special.
How many state titles is that for you at Shanley now?
That's my second at Shanley. I also had 2 at Fargo South. So I've had 4 state championships total. So, and I'll tell you one thing, it never gets old. Each one is a special one, and it's hard to do. And we're just excited as a program.
Yeah, getting one is tough enough, but repeating is even tougher.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's just to contribute to, we're just not a year in and year out team. We feel we have a pretty good program that every year when we start a season, we're in the conversation for a state championship. And no doubt this year we felt the same way, that if things go right, we had a chance to make it to the Fargo Dome and not only make it, but win it. And anytime you win a state championship, there's a lot that has to go into that. And one being, you got to be a little lucky. You got to stay healthy. You got to make sure that you catch a few breaks here and there, the way the ball bounces. And I think we were able to do all that this season. And but the biggest thing is we stayed healthy. And because we're not a team that has a lot of depth. So every time that injury happens, a lot of times when injury happens, it could be a chance that it's a two-way starter. So in essence, you're losing 2 players. You're losing one on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. So that plays a big part in it.
Somebody that played a big part was your quarterback, Michael Rosberg. We've talked about him before, going to the University of St. Thomas next year. He finished his high school career on a tremendous high note, 259 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, and he ran for a couple of scores too.
Yeah, he just finished his career with 3,000 yards passing his senior season. It's an all-time record in North Dakota, 34 touchdowns. And like you mentioned, he rushed for 10 too. So there's a reason he's a Division I quarterback. We wanted him to be able to play on statewide TV on the big stage. And not only did he get to play, but he performed at a high level. And our success, no doubt, this year was a contributor to what he did offensively. But I think at the end of the day, Michael will tell you he's just one of the pieces on this team, which that's what's unique about this team, is we were a true team. Really the backbone of our team this year was our defense. We played fast and physical all year, and to be able to do what we did on Friday night to create 5 turnovers in the first half, that's virtually unheard of. And obviously set us up for a short field on many of our touchdowns. And so credit to our defense. They kept us in games throughout the year when our offense sputtered, and just turned out to be a great season for everybody.
Yeah, 5 turnovers, and one of those Sam Ovzak returned for a touchdown and interception.
Yeah, I thought that was the turning point of the game, because we're up 21-7. Century's got the, with an opportunity to score, and that makes it a 28-14 game going into the half. And then Sam makes that pick and takes it to the house for 65 yards. So in essence, that's a 14-point swing. So instead of it being 28-14, now it's 35-7. Going into the locker room with all the momentum, and it really just changed the whole complexion of the game. And and what we talked about the kids at halftime, we felt very comfortable if we could get a stop on that first drive in the third quarter and score. We thought we could put that game out of reach, which we did. And credit to our kids, they delivered.
How many seniors will graduate from this team?
We actually had a very small senior class. We only have 12 seniors. The 12 that are on there are pretty darn good, though, and we're going to miss them. But, we are a very heavy junior team. And a lot of, sophomores but our junior class is an excellent class. And obviously, like I said, the seniors that we did have, are really good players. We got 4 or 5 that are going on to play college football. So it's a really good class, and we're going to miss them. But, with any team, anything in high school sports, you move on, you get ready for the next season. But we're really excited with what we got coming back. We got, we had a good JV schedule, good JV team. Our freshmen had a good year. So we're excited with the future. And like I mentioned before, we're hopefully in the conversation for, to be in the mix again next year.
Who are some of the other fellows that will be playing football in college next year?
Yeah, so you got Michael Rosberg, obviously, is going to St. Thomas. Connor Kraft was one of our receivers. He just signed to play basketball at South Dakota State. Vuchiria Kim, number 1, our receiver. He's going to more than likely go to UND. We have 2 linemen that are Dylan Carquist and Damon Hospitalis. They're kind of going through right now and figuring out where to go, but I think they'll end up in the Northern Sun Division II. Will Mayhus was our defensive end. He's looking too. He's probably going to end up in the Northern Sun as well. A very good player, all-state player. And then we got Luke Holcraft, who was our other defensive end. He'll have an opportunity to play at the collegiate level too. But all that kind of works itself out now between now and Christmas, and we'll see where those guys ends up. But definitely it's a special class that propelled us to a state championship, and it's going to be fun to follow them over the next 4 years at the college level.
And it sounds like their seniors are leaving some big shoes to fill too.
They are, anytime, what's really cool about them is they were through this whole transition of us moving up to the big schools. So they got to see it from the beginning and see it to fruition at the end. So they're a big part of what we did to do everything we asked them to do day in and day out. And even though there's only 12 of them, it's a pretty special 12 that, really created a legacy at Shanley High School, because I think this team is going to rank up there with some of the best ever, not only at Shanley, but I think in the state of North Dakota, just because of what we did in that championship game and what we did throughout the season, the amount of points that we were able to put up and what we did defensively.
That is quite a statement, getting 5 turnovers and the way Michael played a quarterback. It sounds like, that's a really big standard to set for any team to try to deal with.
Yeah, I think our turning point really is that first Mandan game. We kind of went to a no huddle up tempo team, and I think that caused a lot of fits for teams. But we averaged 50 points a game when we made that switch. So, and when you think about that, that's remarkable with the teams that we played to beat at that level. But and the message we'll give to our new kids is we're not going to try to be the 2022 team. That's a special team. That's going to go down in the history of Shanley football. We just need to be a new version of the 23 team and try not to be that team, because we're going to be different. Anytime you lose a Division I quarterback that, he's leaving us with close to 6,000 yards passing. That's hard to, we're going to miss that. And, so we'll have a new identity at quarterback, which the type of offense we run, it's all predicated on our quarterback. And so we'll look different, but we think the 23 version will be a good team, and we'll make a run.
We'll look forward to seeing that. As far as the offseason goes, what will your offseason be like now?
Yeah, you know what? We have our year-end celebration tonight, and we meet with the ninth graders through juniors tomorrow. They all meet with their individual position coaches and with me, and we'll start building our goals for 2023. And we hit the weight room. A lot of our kids will move on to a winter sport, which we love. We really encourage the multi-sport athlete. And I would say 90 to 95% of our kids are in a winter sport, which is good. It's good to compete in different avenues. And as coaches, it's just fun to go watch them play. But our goal right now is to get bigger, faster, and stronger. And for the new 23 version. And once summer hits, we'll hit it really hard for next year. But right now, we're just going to enjoy this and get ready for 23.
The state champions in 11 AA football, Fargo Shanley. Troy Mattern, the head coach. Thanks very much, and congratulations once again.
All right, Joe. I appreciate your coverage. Take care.
All right. You take care, too. And we'll have more on the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show right after this.
Take a good look at Hillsborough. It's conveniently located between Fargo and Grand Forks. Hillsborough is a growing community with solid local schools with high graduation rates. There's an industrial park ready to host a new business. And there's Woodland Park with activities all year round. The Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation asks you to take a good look at Hillsborough when you're thinking about a place to put down roots and grow. For more information, contact the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation at growhillsboroughnd.com.
Lee Brothers Sales, Highway 9 in Ada invites you to order your new Buick and Chevrolet vehicles. From the Silverado, Trailblazers, Traverse, and Enclave, Lee Brothers is your authorized Chevrolet and Buick dealer, providing sales and a service to the area since 1975. For ordering your vehicles, talk with Mitch, Smurf, or Jay. Trust the experts who know your vehicles best and take advantage of great Chevy certified service offers today. Lee Brothers Sales, Highway 9, Ada, 218-784-2000.
Hey, what you doing?
Crawling around under my planter trying to figure out if I need any maintenance parts replaced.
It's harvest time, buddy.
Yeah, I know, but the guys at RDK Enterprises keep reminding me to check now, just in case I need something ordered.
What do I look for?
Just give RDK a call and ask some questions. They are the guys I go to for answers.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We will answer all of your planter questions or come out to your farm and take a look at your planter. Give us a call, 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Welcome back to the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show on yourliveevent.com. Barnesville's football team looking forward to a trip to U.S. Bank Stadium on Friday when they will take on Jackson County Central in the AA semifinals. Had a chance to talk with their coach Bryan Strand about Barnesville's undefeated season so far.
Welcome back to the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show on yourliveevent.com. Bryan Strand, the coach of the Barnesville Trojan football team, joins me now. And Barnesville going to the state semifinals in Class AA for a second straight year, coming off a 21-0 win over Moose Lake Willow River last week, Thursday. Bryan, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Tell me about that win over Moose Lake Willow River.
Oh, it was pretty cold, pretty windy. I would say that it was pretty all the way around. Defensively, we played really, really well. I think we gave up 28 yards on the ground. So our defense has been pretty solid for us the entire year. So I was very pleased with their effort. But it was cold and it kind of affected the kids a little bit here and there. But we struggled moving the ball a little bit in the second half. Luckily, we were able to put up 13 in the first quarter. Had a nice little lead. And then we got one in probably early fourth quarter where we broke off about a 50-yard run.
You said the defense has been solid, 6 shutouts in 11 games, and then possibly throwing the Crookston game where they got a field goal early on. That's where you get the other team out of the end zone.
Right.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, they've been playing pretty well, and they take a lot of pride in the defense side of the ball. And as far as knowing assignments, and it's I wouldn't say there's a lot of stars on it. There's just a lot of kids that know their job and do whatever it takes to do their own job.
And they are certainly an opportunistic bunch. I remember in the Crookston game, I think it was Jonathan Robideau who recovered a fumble and took it in for a score.
Yeah, well, I'd say that's our second or third one that we've had this year, actually. I think his brother got one early on, and actually I think that he should have had another one in that game when they threw a backwards pass and the official on the sideline didn't quite see it that way. Video evidence might prove him wrong. But yeah, it's the defense is flying around, and the best thing is we don't have very many guys that are playing both sides of the ball. So we got a lot of guys that are rested. I mean, I've got 45 juniors and seniors, and I want to say only 2 or 3 of them play both sides. Braden Bredman plays both sides. Johnny Robidoux plays both sides. And the rest kind of sub each other in and out. So it's not a lot of guys that are going both ways.
And on the offensive side, John Roller had that 53-yard touchdown run you were talking about that kind of sealed things in the fourth quarter. All your guys, if we look at just the number of yards, there's nobody that really stands out that much. But then again, you've got so many guys with 9 yards, 10 yards a pop.
Yeah. Team average right now, it's down to about 7.6 yards a carry, but we've got Braden Bredman, who's averaging 9 yards a carry. He's at 525. John Roller, the fullback, he's one kid that doesn't sub out a lot, so he looks like he has a lot more carries, but he only has 78 carries for 810 yards, but a 10-yard average. Ethan Larson, 41 carries for 8-yard average. The quarterback's got 67 The starting right half has just under 500 yards and 8.7 yards a carry. So, I mean, and the backup quarterback right now has an average of 10.3 for just under 400 yards.
That is amazing, and credit has got to go to the guys up front. Tim Wells, the Robidoux brothers, Justin Kruger, and Jordan Kroll.
Exactly. Yep. No, I mean, we are very big at, as well as our tight ends. Tate Iniger sits about 6'3", 265. Our other end, Wyatt Suter, I mean, he's about 195. I think we're real big up front. I mean, you know, you got Justin at center at 265, Tim at one of the tackles at 260. Johnny goes about 230, and then Jordan Curl's 6'7", 6'6", 6'7", and he's 210 with a size of 18 foot. You know, so I mean, the smallest guy we have up front is Nick Robidoux, and he's about 180 pounds, but tough.
That there are colleges who'd like to have tackles that big.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Again, getting to the semis for the second straight year undefeated, and you take on Jackson County Central from the southwest part of the state back at US Bank Stadium. What have you heard about Jackson County Central?
You know, Jackson County is typically a 3A school. They dropped down here last year to AA. They're a solid group. Have a real nice quarterback, a freshman who started last year as an 8th grader. He stands 6'4", about 195 pounds. I want to say his brother is at South Dakota State being their quarterback. They throw the ball well. They run the ball well. Pretty good depth. I think we match up well against them. They like to run the ball. Again, they can pass it as well. Biggest thing, it's going to be a 9:00 in the morning game, which is difficult, I think, for a lot of kids. You know, we're used to it. I mean, basically from the playoffs and anytime we had a big game during the year, we practiced twice a week. One time we practiced, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we go at 6:30 in the morning as well, 6:30 to about 7:45, just to get our extra stuff in and assignments down. And then we practice after school as well. So basically from section finals that week on, we've been going twice a day. So our kids, I think, are a little bit more used to getting up and playing football than maybe some others. So hopefully that helps us.
Yeah, that is a tough adjustment on the body clock. You're just so used to going through your school day and then playing at night.
Yeah. No, and we also have a real strong weight program here at school, and that starts at 6 a.m. And I want to say I probably have 80% participation in that group from the team. And we've got about 60 kids that travel, and about 80% of those show up every day at 6 a.m. So I think our kids are used to getting up early and doing work. So hopefully that pays off for us on Friday.
And I'm sure everybody is excited about going to US Bank Stadium another time.
Another time, yeah. We figured out the other day, we've gone there. We made the semifinals 5 of the last 7 years, and the one year we didn't. That was COVID year, and that was our undefeated season with Adam Tonsfeld at quarterback and some other really good kids. And we actually scheduled a game that year within like 2 days of the game against Morris, who we would have faced in the first round of state. Our sections lined up, and we won that game. So, I mean, our kids are used to that and going down there and traveling and doing all that extra stuff. And hopefully that pays off for us as well.
Well, we shall see when the Trojans take on Jackson County Central, and this is going to be Friday morning.
Friday morning at 9.
I'm sorry?
Friday at 9, yep, at US Bank.
Okay. All right. Well, Bryan Strand, thanks very much, and best of luck there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, and we'll continue with the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show on yourliveevent.com right after this.
Harvest is here, and that means we all need to be careful. Hello, this is Bethany Rentz with IRE Insurance. We want to make sure everyone up and down the valley has a safe and successful harvest. Take extra special care in your travels. Slow-moving combines, mud-covered roads, and debris are just a few things during harvest that can be dangerous. So take your time, watch your surroundings, and most of all, be patient and slow down. For more harvest safety tips, go to IREINS.com.
You're protected and appreciated at IRE.
IRE Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
In Hope, North Dakota, we aren't just a town, we're a community, one that you can be proud of, where you and your family can grow. With available jobs, affordable housing, a local golf course and pool, the Sportsman Club, and great educational opportunities, there hasn't been a better time to join the Hope community, ideally located between Fargo, Grand Forks, and Jamestown. For more information, go to www.hopend.com. Live, work, and play in Hope, North Dakota.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms, saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage, our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
Let's go back to talking about volleyball here on the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show on YourLiveEvent.com. The North Dakota Class B tournament getting underway Thursday in Bismarck. Chase Miller had a chance to talk with Angie Johnson, the coach of Northern Cass, and I had a chance to talk with Lisa Strand, the coach of the Thompson Tommies, both those teams taking part in the Class B state tournament.
Northern Cass ready to get back to a state tournament here for the third consecutive season, and joining us now for Northern Cass, that is their head coach, Angie Johnson. And Angie, let's just recap the Region 1 volleyball tournament. I know after the match got done, we had an opportunity to speak on the post-match show, and I remember asking a question similar of, was that the best brand of volleyball you've kind of seen? Because I know Monday, Tuesday, there were some close matches. You found a way to finish it off, but it just seemed like the girls, for whatever they did beforehand, Angie, they just felt like they were in the zone against Kindred on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 days we struggled a little bit on our side of the court, and Sargent County and Wyoming-Ridgewood played amazing, and they played amazing defense and made us earn it, which is what I want to see anyways when you're getting into the postseason. But yeah, the third game, we talked before the game just about, confidence. We need to have confidence. We've been here before. Yeah, we're going to be nervous. That's fine. But I think we just have to know that, this isn't our first time being in this championship game. We know that feeling when you win. And so we have to chase that feeling and just have to play the best that we can play.
And to have 3 players been nominated to an all-region team as a coach, what does that mean specifically with Hallie Crockett being a senior athlete, Josie Jensen and Noelle Erickson being part of that list? But what does that mean from a coach's perspective to see them also get recognized from fellow coaches across the region?
It's just a great accolade. I mean, across the board with our program too, they're nothing, like they say, they're nothing without their teammates and everything like that. So, obviously they've put in the hard hours and the work, and it's great for them to be recognized and at the end of the season, and for their team too. It's great. We're a strong program, and that shows by, having the senior athlete. I think this is the 3rd year in a row we've had the senior athlete, and, it's an accolade to their team members too.
And for you, Angie, once as a coach, you get to this time of the season, how much film work do you have against teams that you haven't played before, out west? I mean, I know there's crossovers and there might be times where you get to play someone throughout a season, but, for example, like the Knights of our Redeemers, there'll be the first chance that you'll really get an opportunity to have your team and their team on opposite sides of the net. So how much work do you do prior to a Thursday quarterfinal? Or is it, we're just going to kind of worry about what we can control from a Northern Cass point of view here, Angie?
This year, I think I'm going to do a lot less video for the girls. I think the first 2 rounds of the region tournament, we hadn't seen Wyoming-Ridgewood or Sargent County since the beginning of the season. So we did a lot of video. We took a lot of notes. And I think that, honestly, it made us more stressed because we had more things to think about. So I think for me, I'll probably watch video just to kind of pick out some things. But other than that, I think we're just going to get on the court and just play how we need to play and adjust as needed.
Is there an experience factor that you hope that you can take with you, knowing that this is the 3rd time, knowing that there's some players on the court, that this is their 2nd or 3rd opportunities playing at this type of environment at a state level a little bit here, Angie?
I think it makes a difference. I think no matter what, you're going to be nervous. It means you care. That's what I always tell them. But, there is a sort of comfortability once you get over those initial nerves that, like Hallie and Noelle and Josie and Ellie and all those girls that have been there, and Elise have been there last year, and they were on the court. So obviously they're still probably going to be nervous. There's still going to be some jitters, but I think ultimately we'll be able to calm down, and hopefully that confidence and that experience will take us, where we need to be.
What's it been like playing with a target on your back? You've done it now for a couple seasons. You know that there's a lot of teams, whether it's the region or maybe you get to those 3 setters in a crossover tournament. Everyone sees Northern Cass come in with the gold and the black, and I'm sure they're like, that's the team that we want to pick off here if there's a win that we have this weekend. What's it been like playing with the target on your back? Or do you maybe not feel it as much as maybe some media cohorts like myself like to bring up talking with you?
We feel it for sure. The girls always reference it. You know, at the beginning of the year and throughout the year, we've kind of said that we have to just expect that teams are going to come and they're going to put everything out on the court because they don't have anything to lose when they're against, you know, a team that's ranked. So it's been a lot of mental shifting for us too, having to understand that just because we are ranked where we are doesn't mean that we step on the court and teams are just going to, you know, give us the game and not make any, you know, not do anything that's going to prevent us from winning. So we've had to kind of mentally shift this season into trying to handle those hard situations better. That's kind of our slogan, is handle hard better. We need to be able to step into those situations and make the best of it and earn our points versus waiting for the other team to make the mistake.
Northern Cass head volleyball coach Angie Johnson with us here. 1 or 2 more questions for Angie before we let her go. Ultimately, at the end of the day, Angie, what has been the one thing, and there's probably a lot of things, but what's been the one thing that has allowed this team to not just win, but flourish and feel like they're having fun? They're dancing up in between timeouts, and it seems like they're loose from a broadcaster's point of view. But what's been the one thing or trait about this team that has allowed you to get back to Bismarck here, Angie?
I think just the experience factor. I think that's huge when it comes in those tight games and those big games and in the postseason. And just the fact that anybody on our team can put the ball down. It doesn't put any more stress on any specific hitter. You know, if that one hitter, say Josie or Hallie, aren't having a good game, then other people can step up and can put the ball down. So I think that makes a huge difference when you get into these big games too, because you know they're going to key in on 2 of our big hitters, and those other hitters have been able to step up and really take over a match and, you know, fill those gaps where needed.
Final thing for you, be reminisce because it is a state tournament, and I always like to bring up the seniors, and you could talk about an ample opportunity in all 6 of them, but what is, as a core, what is this group meant to this program here, not just this season, Angie, but for the last couple of years, where it was freshmen to C squad to JV to being varsity players right now in 2022 across the board?
You know, this group, I mean, I say every year the senior group is special, but, you know, this group were freshmen when I first started. So they were my first freshman group, and they didn't know me. They've heard about me. They kind of just bought into everything that me and Beth, my assistant, we've been here all 4 years, that we've kind of been preaching, and we've changed some things up on them, and they've really just bought into whatever we've preached. And I think that, you know, we have that amount of trust between all of them and us, and they're just such a special group. You know, they'll do anything that we ask of them. They're not afraid to ask us questions and to challenge us to be better too. And I think that you know, is important as well when you're trying to, you know, be one of the best teams in the state. But just their ability to buy in and give 110% at every single practice, and then, you know, to be those leaders for the underclassmen and just on and off the court. They're great students, they're great people, and they're great athletes too. So I couldn't ask for anything better.
Angie, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck here in the quarterfinals from the Bismarck Event Center.
Thank you.
Live, work, and play here in Hillsboro, North Dakota. The Hillsboro Economic Development Committee can assist you with information and support for business and housing. Experience Hillsboro. More at 104.
Well, talking about winning the region tournament, first of all, that was quite a week, getting through Park River and then Hatton Northwood and then Mayport.
Yes, our girls really came through. They played very well overall, and you know, this is the time of year when you got to just be at your best. So and every team is coming to play, and every team wants to win. So it's not a matter of, you know, like, we got to get up for this. We just got to, you know, be prepared and play the way we're capable of playing. Mayport has a lot of weapons. Park River came through, and their girls were really hitting well at this time of year. Hatton Northwood has weapons, and so, you know, it was a battle. Every one of them put up a fight, and so we were just fortunate enough to come out on the end with the most points.
And Summer Hegg had just a great weekend, was also named not only part of the all-region team, but also senior athlete of the year.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, it's great when your players can do something like that. Summer has just, you know, she missed a lot of the season, almost a whole month, and she has come back strong, and she just has a ability to see the floor and hit the ball hard. She also, you know, sees the floor well enough to know when she should, you know, tip it and push it to an area too. And that's a sign of a good player right there, who isn't just all one faceted. She has many different skills.
And this team, in talking to the girls, it seems like they all say about what a great bond this team has. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, you know, it was tough because last year's seniors were just a great crew, and they were very good at getting the team together, and you know, they each had their role. There was the ones that, you know, brought the humor. There was the ones that brought the fire. You know, every one of them had their role, and so it took a little bit at the beginning for these seniors to know what their role was on the team as far as captains go and as leadership. And boy, they have really stepped up. Clara Stevens and Jordan West and Summer Hegg have done a phenomenal job of being captains, being leaders. They have made this team bond. They have brought everyone together, and it's really and nice to see, because it doesn't matter if you're the freshman on the team or a junior or senior. You are part of the team, and you're included in everything.
It's so hard to pick a highlight of the season, and obviously we have some more games to go, but winning the region title again, a win over number 1 ranked Northern Cass, and for you personally, career win number 1,000.
Yeah, it's just been an incredible season, and you know, I'd pick the team wins over everything. The team's success has been the most important thing for us this year, and you know, Sydney getting her 1,000th, that's an awesome accomplishment as well. If Summer had been healthy all year, she'd be closer to that 1,000th, you know, kill. She just, you know, as a sophomore, she didn't get much playing time. She just really stepped in as a junior and started hitting like she has been. So she's only had 2 years to get her stats up.
Now you get Garrison to start off the state tournament. I imagine you've been going through the grapevine trying to get info on them.
Oh, definitely. You know, that's the beauty of it, is there's some videos out there, and everyone has something that they can show or see. We've been able to see a couple of videos, and you know, Garrison's a good team. At this point, there's no bad teams. They're all good. They're all a force to be reckoned with. They all have a mission, and so there's no way that you can just walk into the state tournament and think that you're going to be successful. Preparation is necessary against any team, and Garrison has some great hitters, and so we're gonna do some practicing today and in a couple other days to kind of see what we can do to stop them.
That's your 3rd place. I'm guessing your goal for this year is 1 or 2 steps higher.
Oh, definitely. You know, I mean, the goal is always to do your best, and I thought that we played really well last year. Our only loss was to the eventual state champion, Linton HMB. And so with that, we were pleased with the outcome. Of course, you know, wanting to do better, but we were pleased with how it turned out. Yes, and you're right. This year, you know, we won at least as well as we did last year. But again, there's new teams there, there's good teams there, and you know, we just have to do our best and play as well as we're capable of playing in order to make that happen.
All right. The Thompson Tommies playing at the state tournament. We'll be there on yourliveevent.com, audio only. But Lisa Strand, thank you so much, and hopefully have a nice trophy to bring back from Bismarck.
That will do it for this edition of the Hillsborough EDC Coaches Show on yourliveevent.com. Next week, we'll have a whole mix of things getting into the winter sports. We'll talk Mayport Ice Dogs hockey. We'll be talking some high school wrestling, boys and girls from the state of North Dakota. We'll also have Grafton's new girls basketball coach. We'll see how the Spoilers are getting ready for their new season. And we hope to talk to one of the North Dakota State volleyball champions as well on the Coaches Show next week, which should be a pretty good pre-Thanksgiving sports feast for you. I'm Joe Lancello. Enjoy your week, enjoy all the games, and we'll talk to you next week. Good night.